Superman bursts into Darkseid's temple. The Dark Lord sits enthroned, commanding his brainwashed pawn Kara to fight Superman to the death. Superman finds himself outmatched at every turn as Kara goes for the kill. Their battle tears through the palace and spills into the hellish fires of Apocalypse. As Darkseid watches with his hands clasped behind his back, Batman silently closes in. He tells Darkseid that he's activated every Hellspore in his armory, enough to blow Apocalypse sky high in an instant. Without even turning around, Darkseid replies, "No one knows the activation codes." Batman casually rattles off a string of numbers. Darkseid's expression hardens. He backhands Batman across the room, then leaps down, coiling to strike. But Bruce doesn't flinch. He gives Darkseid two choices: release the girl, or they all go down together. Darkseid, seething with rage, slams him against the wall and hoists him up by the throat. Despite the brutal beating, the Dark Knight's presence completely dominates the Lord of Apocalypse.
You will disarm them.
Here's the deal. Release the girl, and give your word you'll leave her alone. Or swear, Kara Zor-El. Say it.
The Dark God is forced to admit if it were just the Kryptonian and the Amazon, they'd never escape his world. But this insignificant human has handed him a humiliation he's never known. At that moment, Kara crashes through a window and tumbles into the hall. Superman hovers above, eyes blazing red, and tells Darkseid, "I'll settle this score with you, sooner or later." The group returns to Themyscira. Kara visits the Prophet's grave to pay her respects and vows to use her powers to protect the world. As they part ways, Superman thanks Bruce and Diana.
Thank you. You still owe me a computer. Might take a while. Reporter's salary. Always has to have the last word.
Then he takes his cousin to meet his parents. But before he can even open the door, a massive fist sends him flying. Darkseid smashes through the wall, glaring at Kara with murderous intent. He swats aside everything in his path and tells the son of Krypton, "I said I wouldn't come after your cousin. I never said I wouldn't come after you." With that, Omega beams blast forth, devastating Superman, then slam into Kara, dropping her hard. Superman charges at Darkseid in a fury, but the tyrant snatches him up like a ragdoll. The moment his heat vision flares, Darkseid clamps a hand over his face. Smoke curls up as Superman's eye sockets char black. Darkseid hurls him skyward, fires another Omega beam, and Superman vanishes beyond the horizon. Kara steps up to take his place. Darkseid blasts her away, then brings his boot down with earth-shattering force. But searing heat vision burns through his foot. He blocks the scorching beam with one hand, grabs her head, and flings her aside, following up with a vicious kick. 3 Omega beams chase her across the sky. She loops behind Darkseid, flips into a flying knee, gets thrown, but turns his own momentum against him. She rockets up and unleashes a blazing flurry of punches, then kicks Darkseid into orbit. Moving like lightning, Kara dodges his Omega beams and drives him into the ground. But the girl's stamina has limits. After a brutal close quarters exchange, she collapses, battered and bloody. Darkseid closes in. Omega beams rain down relentlessly. Meanwhile, Superman drifts toward the sun. His fingers twitch, his eyes snap open. He rockets back to Earth like a streak of light. Darkseid, finished venting his rage, opens a boom tube to head home when a figure explodes through the settling dust. Superman, burning with fury, says, "You had your fun. Now I'm pissed." He spots Kara unconscious nearby and moves toward her, but Darkseid makes the mistake of grabbing his cape. Superman whips around and sends him flying. He tears across the fields, whipping up a hurricane, and unloads mountain-shattering punches backed by blazing heat vision. The onslaught rains down on Darkseid without mercy. Darkseid manages to pin Superman down, but Kara recovers. She grabs the mother box, opens a boom tube, and draws Darkseid's attention. Superman instantly sears through Darkseid's palm, lands a devastating kick, and uses his heat vision to blast the tyrant into the void of space. The cousins sit together for a moment of peace until the Kents come home to find their farm in ruins and their son looking like he's been through hell. They're completely speechless. Finally, Superman brings Kara back to Themyscira, first to thank the Amazon warriors, and second to formally introduce her new identity. Amid cheers and applause, and a rare approving smile from Bruce, she takes her place as Supergirl, ready to soar alongside Superman across the skies.